Good evening. I want to do a video about mothers because the Pleiadians are really strong right now. The women, the mothers are coming through during some of my readings. They're coming through for their daughters that are here on earth. I have explained in a previous video that I don't come from a planet. I'm a frequency. I choose to come to planets to help change history or change the frequency. But I am connecting with these other races. I don't channel them. I only channel my higher self. My higher self brings messages through to the clients, and these mothers are coming through. So I just felt it was important that we did a video about mothers. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to look at these cards. I'm going to describe a mother figure. And this could be a biological mother, a grandmother that raised you, a stepmother, a mother-in-law, or someone that felt like a mother figure in your lifetime. Some people had a very difficult relationship with their biological mother, the woman that gave birth to them. And it's important to understand that you have healed the dynamics that she could not heal. So your children do not have to deal with this dysfunction, I guess you could say. This here is a mother that passed away from cancer, and she's making a joke. She says, "Oh, my hair is growing back, and I'm never going to cut it again." This is a mother here whose heart was broken. This is her heart chakra. And you were conceived through this heartache, which was passed on to you. And you're going to clear that up. You are clearing it up. If you haven't already done so, you most certainly will be clearing it up. And it feels like there's some value in some jewelry or something that belonged to this woman. And I have said this before, but you can sell this stuff because somebody else is going to sell it. So she would rather see you spend her money than someone else. This is a librarian, and she left the earth early, so this would have been a young mother paying a visit, very proud of her children. So there's more than one child. I'm not picking up how she crossed over. I'm just picking up she was very smart, like a librarian, or she loved her books. And she does visit often. And I am hearing that she visits the grandchildren. This mother, she was selfish, and she put herself on a pedestal. She put herself above and beyond what she should have, actually. And she realizes that now. She comes from a different cluster of souls, so she's a polarized energy. She was very narcissistic. And but she's coming through, and she's coming through with love, And she says, I am going to take some responsibility for how you turned out because you turned out pretty good. So basically, you did the opposite of what she did. And she sees that, and she says, that was my job. This woman here, this is a mother that had a hard time getting pregnant, so she was older when the first child came. And that was her whole heart and desire, was just to be a mom. I feel like she was in her 40s. And of course, she left a little sooner than she wanted to, but she was so grateful to be your mother. And I don't know, she had the fertility, but I also feel like someone, maybe some grandchildren or something, have some pet rabbits. And she plays with the pet rabbits, cats. A lot of these mothers can tease the animals and the pets that you have to get your attention. This mother here, she said, I walked with you down the aisle when you got married. I was there at your wedding. Also, there's a message about how someone was laid to rest. They were very pleased with their funeral. And yes, they do. They do visit, they're there. At their funerals, they're there. They're trying to get people's attention. So if you saw someone flickering lights, or, I don't know, you can get messages at the funerals if you can relax yourself enough to receive the messages. This is a mother here that she ended up in a wheelchair. She wasn't born this way. She ended up in a wheelchair, but she says, I have my legs back, and I'm just having a good time jogging, hiking in the woods on the other side. We can do that. Yes, I do visit. There is a message about don't hold on to my stuff. Okay? Don't hang on to my stuff. I'm not there no more. You can get rid of my stuff, donate it, do something good with it, but don't hang on to it. This is a mother that loved her religion. So she says, I still go to church. Although I see things differently now, I was very strong in my religion and my faith, and I still hold on to that. But I see the bigger picture now. And I am very grateful to bring this message to you. And I do feel like someone who was really a mother figure that was very religious is like, okay, you were right. You were right. Everything's okay. This mother died during birth, giving birth to a child. And I feel like this child blames herself that the mother passed away, and this child has carried a lot of guilt, and the mother is saying, this was a contract that I had, was to bring you through, and then I was going to leave. This was a contract. And I have felt your guilt, and I have tried to help you in this matter, but it has been difficult. And I do know that mediums have given you messages from me before. So please know that they were correct. There's nothing to feel guilty about. You didn't kill me. It was an honor and a privilege for me to bring you into this world. And you grew up with a very loving mother. That was also an agreement that I had with that other woman. That's your mother. I was just a portal to get here. This is a grandmother figure that raised someone like their own. Oh, she worked really hard. This woman worked really hard. She worked her fingers to the bone, but she would not have traded anything. Because she raised you, you kept her young, you kept her on her toes, and actually you loved her more than she ever felt from any other person. The connection was just different. She says she went out peacefully with no regrets. Let's see. I feel like this mother married someone that she didn't want to get married because she got pregnant. And she made a lot of sacrifices, but she had no regrets as far as you were concerned. And she knows that you could sense the tension in the home, and she does apologize for that. But you know, human conditions tell us we have to stay, or divorce is wrong, blah blah blah. But she wanted to keep the family together, and for whatever reason, feels that this is important to say. I'm with my soulmate right now, so no regrets here either. There's no regrets. This woman, this may be from a different country, but she feels like royal, a good royal that did a lot of charity work, and I feel like somebody is carrying on some of the charity work that she started, and that's very much appreciated. She is also with a son that would be your father, and he sends birds to sing you love songs, and you are the same cluster of souls, and you will be together again. And she's telling me that someone in the family is pregnant and they don't know it yet. Well, this one here was an activist. She fought for what she thought was right. She protested. She taught you strong values of being independent and working hard. And it did take a toll on her, and she realizes this now. But that's what made her sick, was the passion and the fighting and the stress and organizing certain protests, or I'm not sure exactly what I'm picking up, but I feel like she was a very busy mother trying to make things right. And you did not, because of what she did, you're like, I'm not gonna, there's other people that can go picket and go protest. I'm gonna stay home with my kids. And she laughs about that. And she says, that's okay. You're not disappointing me. She said, if I would have known, I would have handed the torch over to someone else too. So don't worry about it. This mother, let me see here. She's showing me a separation or distance, did not like each other. There was a lot of disagreements or fighting, and I think, well, what she's telling me is someone finally said, I don't want to be around this energy anymore. She was a polarized energy, and she knows that. And so she is sending you her love, and she does say, I'm sorry. My childhood trauma that I couldn't heal created this personality in me, and I knew in my heart that I couldn't be a good mother, but I did try. I did try. Oop. Okay, a few more here. Let's see. This one here, she had a very difficult life with an ex-husband, and it really affected her. And she knows that it affected you as well. I almost feel like he tried to kill her, or he did kill her. So, and there's different messages for, different people in this video, but she said she fought with everything that she had, and she just couldn't do it anymore. So there would be some suicide in some of this as well. The suicide mothers, well, I don't believe in hell, so that isn't where they go, and I don't believe in a God that would send them there just because they couldn't handle it here on earth. I do believe that the suicides get the help they need in the loving arms of angels and Source. So any suicide mothers, they're okay, and they will come back. They have to make up for what they checked out early with. So the suicide moms will be back, and more than likely they will come back through the same family. But this one here, yeah, so there's some murder also with some of these mothers. They were taken too soon, and some of them are not solved, and they will not be solved because it was a karma debt that played out. So whoever caused the death is going unpunished for that reason, because it was a karma debt. The mother that was killed agreed to this because she inflicted this upon someone else in a different lifetime. And you also had to feel this pain and suffering because you too inflicted this type of pain and suffering on someone else in a different lifetime. So it's all cleared up now. The debt is cleared up. There are some deaths that have been solved, and there's others that will be solved. So have some patience. And especially the last 5 years with all of the, shutdowns and this, and so there'll be a lot of lawsuits won, and mysteries solved, and truth coming out. And I have done a video about this as well. There's no right or wrong, okay? We're in a shift, and we're purging. We are going to continue to purge, I believe, very heavy until 2030. We will continue to purge. And these people are agreeing to exit, so, how can we be angry at them? This mother here, she did beautiful, beautiful artwork, but she didn't believe that she had what it takes to sell the artwork or put it on display. And somebody else is selling it, and she's very happy about that. And someone has picked up her skills. This goes back to a life in Greece. So that's where all this talent comes from. This mother loved her garden, and she grew more than flowers. She loved to grow food. She loved to watch things grow. She had a very strong connection with the plants, and she still does. So if you have plants in your home, you better know she's talking to them, and she's paying attention to how you're taking care of them. And I can hear someone joking about that. Okay, I think I covered it. Let me see if I can pick up anything else. Oh, this one here. This is a mother that was forced out of her country. Okay. And I'm hearing the words, I escaped. I escaped. And she brought a child with her before you were born. And she never really talked about her past because she didn't want, it feels to me like the more that you knew, if anybody ever questioned, she didn't want you to have, she didn't want you to have the answers. She did not want you to be questioned. So she was very secretive. And also there's a mother that she left a very bad relationship, and she took you with her, and you may have had some resentment about taking you away from your father, but her intentions were pure. They were pure. They were not malicious, because maybe he was harming you, and maybe you didn't believe her full story. But it doesn't really matter, because she still loves you. She visits, and she did what she knew in her heart was right to get away from that situation. And also, we don't fully understand, but sometimes, I'm going to give you my dad, for instance. My grandfather was killed when my dad was 8 years old, and my dad just grew up and hated God. He just hated him for taking his dad away. And my grandmother remarried my only grandfather that I knew, Grandpa Bill, and they had a daughter. So my dad was raised by an incredible man, but my dad would never accept him until my dad was in his 30s. So my grandfather had to leave. My biological grandfather left the earth and was replaced, not only with a good man, but they gave my dad a sister, and my dad couldn't look at it that way. So if you have resentment, please let that go, because Source doesn't take anyone away. People choose to leave. And when you're missing something the most, the universe always responds to that. So we have to look at it that way. In 2001, my brother John committed suicide, and I'll tell you, that's hard. That's really hard on a family. And but during that time, I had 3 guys that I worked with that filled in and became my brothers. We had lunch together, we partied together, and I was blessed with 3 brothers. Does that make sense? So whatever you're missing, The universe gives it back, usually in a double, triple, or tenfold. And I really hope that you received a message from a mother figure in your life that has crossed over. And if you're a Pleiadian, you have a mom on that planet. And they're coming through. They're coming through for their daughters. Have a good evening.